And then my Vanguard is triple drive. We have 3 heals. So I'm going to go with my Vanguard first. It also gets +3, which is quite nice. But a triple check heal is very good. Hey yo, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. Today we're doing another JP deck profile. After the tower events, the third one actually is over, we finally get a taste of a new overdress crossover, and that is Brandt with Tori. Now, unfortunately, on my JP account, I don't have the Tori skin, so we will be stuck with a generic Brandt player skin. But you know, the deck still runs fine. Not as ideal as I wanted to, but it is what it is. So without further ado, let's talk about the list that I have and showcase a game or two with it. So the clan that I chose from Brandt, of course, there are a couple that you can choose from. You have Nova Grapplers, you have Link Joker, you have Dimension Police. But at the end of the day, I chose Nova Grappler, and there's two main reasons, right? First of all, I'm poor. This is a new account. I don't have old stuff, so I can't really test DP and Link Joker. That is really unfortunate. Second thing is because Nova Grapplers actually have stride support. You know, ideally, you know, the deck, you do want to stay on Seraph Snow, but having the option of a stride that can actually do something, you know, enable multi-attack, whether that's a rearguard column restanding or a Vanguard swinging twice, it's quite valuable. You know, I think it's important. And you know, it's the only option I have, as point 1 indicated. So that's where we stand. Now the list that I'm working with is I have quite a few interesting picks that I don't see in other lists. And by other lists I mean from like the recommended, like the post your own list kind of thing, because I don't really see any other SeraphSnow lists online. But I'll start with the starter. The starter, you know, it's your Brandt starter. At the beginning of your ride phase, put a grade 1 back to your deck, ride the grade 1. And then when you ride the grade 3 in your soul, you can remove this card from the game and kind of prison your opponent's top card. And the prison is basically just binding. But you know, you can proc different things by the number of units in the prison. Alright? So the grade 1, we're actually going to be playing 4 of this. It helps you search the grade 2 if this is in your Vanguard circle during your ride phase. In addition, Vanguard circle on place, if your opponent does have something in the prison, you know, something face up, bind zone, whatever, counterblast 2 draw 1. Counterblast 2 draw 1 is pretty good. You know, on grade 2, the same skill, same cost would require on hit. With this deck, you know, you have a lot of options, a lot of ways to kind of prison or lock up your opponent's units. And so this is an on-place counterblast 2 draw 1. It's really nice and solid unit. And also, of course, your ride target. So there's that. We play 4 PGs. It's the countercharge PG. I actually think that this matters more in this deck than the Nova Grappler deck, because this deck uses more counterblast. And so the countercharge definitely does come in handy, especially when you're late in the game. We play 1 energy charger because generally speaking we only have 2 soul to soul blast. Don't use this too early, and soul blast the grade 0 because that 1 bind is actually quite valuable. And we play 4 of the Toolkit Boy. When a rearguard circle, when this boosts a Vanguard and hits a Vanguard, countercharge 1. I choose this instead of the Clay Doll mechanic, simply because you do want to be using counterblast every single turn. And if you have one of these behind the Vanguard, it means that every single turn when you hit, you get a countercharge, and then you can use your counterblast skills the next turn. You just need to set 1 up. You don't need to, you know, set multiple up, I think. And generally speaking, earlier into the game, you don't use that much counterblast. So definitely, I do like the Toolkit Boy. It is my preference, and if you don't like it, you like the flexibility of Clay Doll mechanic, you can definitely play that as well. The grade 2s, we play 4 of this. I forgot the unit. It's from DBTO1 or something. On place, if your Vanguard is SeraphSnow, counterblast 1 and bind something, prioritizing the back row into the prison. And if your opponent has 2 or more in the in the prison, face up, bind, whatever. 2 or more, it gets plus 2k even on your opponent's turn. So it's an 11k interceptor if your opponent doesn't PBL. So that's nice. There is the right chain one. We play 2 just because I'm afraid of bricking. It happens sometimes, but you can honestly just play 1. It helps you search the grade 3, and also if your opponent has has units in the bind zone face up, then it gets plus 1k. So it's a 10k interceptor as well. We play 3 Transrisers because plussing is good. We play less grade 0 triggers in this build, so it's definitely more consistently not calling out triggers. Whatever you call out honestly is nice, you know, sometimes you call out an early toolkit boy, so even if you call out like call out an interceptor, that's pretty ideal. So it's just nice, it's just free body is good, and worst case scenario it's a 7k interceptor, at least it can act as a defensive shield. And lastly we play 4 of this, really nice, I forgot the name already. But a GB1 rear circle once per turn when this is attacks the Vanguard. When this is boosted, +1 stand another rear guard and give it +3. So when your opponent's at 5, then this unit can help you push for game if you don't have other options, which is really nice. For the grade 3s, we play 4 Seraph Snow. This is the main Vanguard. This is your main ride target. Persona ride, which means when you rewrite it with the same name, draw 1 +5k. When this card attacks, if your opponent has 3 or more, if your opponent has units that are face up in the mine zone, +3k, and if you have 2 or more, draw 1 card and +1 drive check. So this is really big because it gives you that triple drive without having you to need to pay the strike cost. It also means that you can actually use your main phase skill, which is Vanguard circle once per turn, +1, and you know put 1 card from the prison into the prison, bind a face up, prioritizing the back row. So, you know, with the ride chain, grade 0 gives you 1, this unit gives you another, so it's already on your first grade 3 ride, you can already set up a triple drive turn, draw a card, and become a 14k beater. So that's really good. In addition, you have other cards like this that can actually help you bind as well to set up your triple drive on turn 2, on the next grade 3's turn after that. We play 4 of the Muscle Hercules, I believe is the name. Vanguard circle, regular circle, on place, countercharge 1. Again, this deck does use some counterblast, so this is a nice option. And lastly, we play 1 of these. It's fine. GB1, counterblast 2, give a unit +2k and retire something. So in case you need the multi-attack, this is an option as well. And of course, on play Soul Blast 1, call something out and give it +5 to actually help you scale up if you do want to do those multi-attack plays. Generally, you're not going to see a play of this. You know, 11k beater is fine. I know a lot of this play Victor. I don't really like Victor because it doesn't do anything in the rear circle. Your main ride target is going to be Seraph Snow. If you're not riding Seraph Snow, then you might as well just play a Victor deck. Because honestly, the Victor deck is better. But to each their own, I guess. And lastly, we play 4 of the Victor Plasma. Restanding Vanguard is nice, especially in this deck. And the on hit, restand something +3k. So, yeah, I think honestly, this deck is really solid if you're going first. Reason being is because Seraph Snow works like that. You know, on your right chain, you're binding something, and then you can +1, bind another thing. You have triple drive, you have numbers. Very nice. If you're going second, then you're challenged with that awkward question, do I stay on Seraph Snow or do I stride? And it's hard, it's situational, but sometimes staying on Seraph Snow by itself is a bit too slow, and that's up to you to decide, honestly. I do like, you know, striding first if I can, simply because it's a bigger body, simply because you can pile up more damage, and do all that. But overall, the deck, honestly, do I think it's a good deck? I think it's a fun deck. I don't think it's a good deck. I don't think it's a competitive deck. I think it's a solid deck, but you know, it's far from competitive. I definitely think that the Victor deck is probably the better variant. Well, yeah, and it is one of the good things I think about the deck is that it's a nice knowledge check. What I mean by that is if your opponent knows how to manage their counterblast and recognize that you can remove back row or prioritizing the back row, and if they can play around it, they can probably beat you, right? But if they can't, then you can scrub them out of the competition. You know what I mean? So overall, the deck is really fun. You're just spending counterblast. You're trading counterblasts back and forth, except you have more counter charge options, and you have multi-attack options as well. So you're trying to find different ways to counteract your opponent's play and kind of play them, and win the games off that. So with all of that said and done, let's go into a few games and see how this deck performs on ladder, which is quite neat. So I did manage to finish the deck. Didn't get any SPs because I prioritized the packs, because I still haven't finished everything yet, because it is kind of hard. We're like a couple days away from the new set already, and it's rough. But yeah, what is this? Oh yeah, the counter. Yep. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think no grapplers is a solid pick. If I could choose, and given my knowledge of future strat support, personally, I do think that Dimension Police or Link Joker might be a better fit. Dimension Police because you have Command of the World, which means that you can take advantage of the Seraph Snow twice a turn, which means you can triple drive twice and you can draw one twice. For Link Joker, you have Lock as an option as well. So mixing and matching locks and imprisoning could really infuriate your opponent, and definitely deal some damage in terms of damage counts and psychological damage as well. So we're just gonna get rid of one. We only need one, and the other one we can ride. Honestly, we're fine. So Royal Paladin, Outmile. Definitely a very solid deck. One of the three clans that got, one of the three clans that got main set support. But yeah, so we're gonna return one because we honestly only need one. I'd rather keep the other one for the Camas 2-1 draw option. And it's easily accessible when you run the grade 3, you know, on that turn you can 100% use it. On the turns later after that, you know, as long as you're on SeraphSnow or you have something like this to call out, then you're also good to go. So let's just battle. I think we're fine. I do think that Royal Paladin, you know, depending on the player, ooh, Secret's interesting. Depending on the player, could be a challenging matchup. If it's a good player, they can manage the resources wisely, they can superior call effectively. If it's a bad player that's just Altmile spamming, calling everything out, we can run them over easily because, well, we punish them for that, right? So we did damage one, and that's why we play two. And let's just come on. And that's why we play two. So unfortunately, this unit did get nerfed coming into 0. Before, it used to be able to bind something from their hand on ride. But that's okay, you know, we win some, we lose some. We win some, we lose some. I'm gonna keep my hand right now. We're just gonna swing. Seems like our opponent doesn't want to commit to, and we don't need to as well. If they commit, we can punish them for it, and we can then build up our own board. Oh, they're gonna skip the ride. Interesting. Music to my ears, of course, but it's still very interesting. All right. I guess that is one of the advantages of playing a ride line like this. It's, you know, you're much more solid in terms of a smooth game plan. We're gonna remove the grade 0 and bind something. This is mandatory. Do I want to stride this turn? Do I want to stride this turn? I honestly think that I don't need to. Yeah, I don't think I need to. I think I'm fine. I'm just gonna call up the Transriser. See what we top deck. Oh, PG. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Not what we're looking for, but that's okay. Let's counterblast one. Get rid of that. Note that the new starters do not have like a true resist. They only have cannot be retired by effects. So it's slightly different. I think I misplayed here by calling out the PG there. Now the question is, do I want to commit this? I honestly don't know. I think I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'd rather call this out. And my Vanguard is triple drive. We have 3 heals, so I'm gonna go with Vanguard first. It also gets +3, which is quite nice. But a triple check heal is very good, and we can still swing 19, guaranteed to get past the defensive. Gans never dies, I guess. But we did bind out the blaster, of course. When they during your opponent's turn, you know, when they can during the beginning of their turn, they can choose to counterblast one to get well, bail out a unit, and at that moment they can then use the on-play skills. So, well, there you go. But if they do choose to counterblast one to call it the Blaster Blade, then they can then use the Blaster Blade retire as well. So that's something to be wary of. Of course, you can't shoot the target anyways, but it is something to consider. We're going to go into the Wingle. And a Police Stride, right? Police Stride. They don't have the drop zone anyways. We're probably going to have to ditch 2 because they didn't have a grade 3 last turn. But I think it's definitely worth it. They need to get that GB1 to probably get some stuff going. And like a blade or something to just on hit and get a body would be pretty solid. Yeah, I got blade. Blaster Blade back and forth. Literally. Seeker, and remember when you Strine, you still keep the Heart's name as well. So this is both the Blade and the Wingle Seeker. Now, they're getting rid of the Toolkit Boy. They know the counter charger is good, and they're gonna place down a counter charger themselves. I'm interested to see what they're gonna Superior Call actually. Do they play the 8K booster? But I don't know what they're gonna Superior Call on the hit skill. So. But yeah, as you can see, like, they did counter charge, which is good for them. But with 3 counterblast, we can actually remove 3 units. You know, we're punishing them for not filling up the board. If they do choose to fill up the back row, which they probably should, then that way our prison thing is less potent, but still very threatening. I don't know if we want to. I guess we can stride. I guess we can stride. We can do this. Stride, we're gonna prison 2. Muscle Hercules, alright. Prison. Bindo. Maybe I'll save this for next turn, so I can have 2 with Seraph and that unit. Kind of charge. And on hit, we get to restand 1. Probably the Muscle Hercules to hit the numbers. Yes, hit numbers good. Draw triggers. Also good. Heal, really nice. And the build big number is very important because you have to actually hit those thresholds to hit over those heals. Unfortunately, we didn't have that magic number. Muscle Hercules is not 11k, which does suck, but it is what it is. We just have to slowly chip away at our opponent's defenses and win the game. If one can choose to Stride or Legion, honestly at this point I would Legion. You have a heal trigger, you have the main, you have 2 draw triggers. I think it's pretty good. Oh, sorry, this is the bailout. The time to choose to if they want to bail out units. So get rid of those. That way we don't have the triple drive active. We'll choose, yeah, probably Legion. Yep. So the one thing I don't like about our opponent's play is that by using the counterblast 1, it means that they cannot use Blaster Blade skill, right? Blaster Blade skills, they all, except for Spirit, I guess, plus counterblast 2. But I don't think they play the Spirit given their deck count. They do have the counter charge, I guess. I mean, no, it's a draw. It's a draw, not the counter charge. So yeah, I mean, personally, getting the removal and start bashing face and trying to ask for lethal this next turn, that would be my approach. But you know, I guess they might think they can grind this out. So here, like a late game move like this is pretty good as well. Persona riding is solid. I think the Persona ride might be better, simply because we can use this for our move anyways, and this way we can showcase the Persona ride. I think that's the main reason. Just show the Persona ride and draw 1 plus 5. Not gonna strike. I don't think there's a real reason to. We're gonna use this to prison. Alright, get rid of that. We're gonna use this to prison. Let's go with the 7k. Yes, very good. Alright, with 2 binded, we can use our triple drive. Let's draw 1 as well. So let's see a heal. Let's see a heal. No heal, that's okay. Rear guard, and then the restand plate. Another heal and PG. So they don't have any heals left in hand, because if we're swinging 21 to 11, if they had a heal, that would be 15k shield, that would be 26k on defense. So this is helpful information, especially if you're playing Gears or something that has guard restrict. A Wiggle again. So I'm gonna abandon their units in prison now. those aren't really that important, I guess. So fair enough. And the Legion, that the mates and the heal. We do have a heal trigger and a PG in our hand, so that's gonna help us survive this turn. And we'll see what we can do next turn. So if our opponent doesn't really commit more than one more back row, then we can actually prison the back row, and then we can call out the other one to prison the front row because it prioritizes the back row. But if there's no back row, well then there's only front row, right? So that's really nice. Music to my ears. Let's finish this off. Oh, drawing into the heal, that's not nice, but I'm gonna ride. Persona ride, of course, is not as good as in the TCG, but still solid nonetheless. We're gonna call this out. So this way we aren't really getting the extra multi-attack. Unfortunately, we did lose the Toolkit Boy early, but you know, it still works. The deck is still solid, and we are gonna go for the push. Passing the PG. Draw trigger. Draw trigger. We have the PG as well. Another PG. Is that the last one? That's the last one. So of course, our opponent's playing Legion, which means that they can sustain themselves longer for this battle, and the counter charge from the PGs coming into play here because then they have more counterblast to actually respawn and bail out their units. Choosing not to bail everything out, maybe it's a big brain move to actually make its triple drive, which means a faster deck out. You know, definitely a strategy to a counterplay. Next turn, if we had the counterblast, maybe this would have been nice, but we really don't. Opponent doesn't have any PGs left, but you know, I don't know if they have the chance to draw into their heals. But no more Legions, which means no more refreshing these PGs. The Blade is not going to hit our Vanguard because we're on 6 already, 5 already. If we were 6, we'd be dead. Blaster Blade gonna Blaster Blade their way out of this. Gonna kill the 11k. Luckily, we do have the PGs. And if they do force the PG out, can we countercharge? We cannot. Oh, we do! No, we don't. We have one, and then the other one forces the heal. So if we did have the 2 PGs, it would have been better. But we're playing the hand we're dealt. We're playing the hand we're dealt. We're not gonna do this. We're just gonna call stuff out. We ran out of triggers. So it really is this last bit of offense. There's nothing more, just hope our opponent didn't draw into a heal. And we're triple driving, you know, we're seeing the same things. Ah, they did draw into the heal. That's not good. I think that's GG. So I guess the counter-charging PGs did ruin our game. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Grinded it out till the end, but getting rid of that Toolkit Boy is the right play on our opponent's end. We just couldn't seal the deal. So yeah. Swinging, and that's game. You know, even if we healed here, we don't have the cards to draw next turn. So that's a shame, but it is what it is, and that is game. So that's basically it with the deck. I think I showcased a decent amount, you know. You do, you know, as a Nova Grappler deck, you still can do Nova Grappler stuff, you know, plussing with Transriser or with them with Transriser, whichever you prefer. You can still multi-attack with key units like the Grade 2 from the event, with the Strides, but also Seraph Snow as a main ride target can really help you counteract your opponent's plussing. You know, you can punish your opponent for overcommitting. You have a lot of counter charge options, whether that's Toolkit Boy or Claydol Mechanic if you prefer that, Muscle Hercules as well. But all in all, you know, I think it's a pretty solid deck. I think it's definitely a really fun deck. If you played the tower event, you should definitely give this deck a shot. Let me know how you find it. Let me know what cards you've tweaked or played around with, because definitely the event just ended a day ago, or like half a day ago, and there's still a lot of time for us to play around with it and find what works best. And I'm really excited to look forward to future DP support, future Link Joker support, and other Brandt Gate clans as well, so that we can play around with this core. So that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Nova Grappler, for being a member of this channel. Thank you for supporting this channel by liking the video if you liked it, and subscribing if you haven't already. And if you want to see more, definitely check out my other videos, and let me know if you have any ideas for future content. So with that, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.